your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, it has been a chilly night across central Illinois. We have our clear skies that you see here, but clouds are out to the west and are going to be on the increase here as we go throughout later tonight. Let's look at the temperatures right now as we've already cooled down to 22 in Champaign. We've got 16 in Watsika and Pontiac, 17 in Bloomington. Believe it or not, we think the temperatures may start to come up a few degrees by morning at the bus stop for the kids out there coming up on your Thursday. 24 on the way to school, and we're actually going to warm up to 44 for a high. Problem is, it's going to get really windy. We'll talk about those winds and then shift attention to the weekend. Snow is in the forecast. I'll show it to you coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
So if our canines are alerting on a vehicle, then that will mean that it's not in compliance with the law.
Sheriff's departments were worried drug canines would have to retire after recreational marijuana became legal, but they don't have to worry anymore.
The governor wrote a $5 million check. We'll tell you what it's going toward.
A different kind of circus was in town tonight, and this one helped spread holiday cheer.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
I feel a lot more comfortable with the direction that we're going at this point.
The legalization of recreational marijuana came with a lot of gray area for law enforcement, especially where canines are concerned. Now, they have some answers. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. Recreational marijuana will be legal 3 weeks from today. Both law enforcement leaders and marijuana companies say they're ready to roll. The Champaign County Sheriff's Office is starting the new year with its canine officers. But when we first brought you this story not that long ago, they weren't sure if they'd be able to do that. WCIA 3's Emily Braun is live in our newsroom tonight. So, Emily, they got some guidance from the state. Where are they at now?
Jessica, the law is a 600-page document that comes with a lot of nuances and caveats, so they've been back and forth with the state trying to figure these things out. The sheriff told me they need to wait for case law to iron that out, and these dogs are trained to sniff out marijuana. The worry before was that they would alert to someone who's following the law, but now the sheriff says if you're using and transporting it the way you're supposed to, that won't be a problem. We introduced you to this canine in September. His coordinator showed us how he's trained to alert to an illegal drug. He was afraid of the possibility Arco here might be retired when recreational marijuana becomes legal, but for now, Arco's still got a job.
At least for the time being, that we're going to be able to keep our dogs, we're going to not have to retrain, and we're going to be able to continue business as normal, keeping the community safe. And
it'll be business as usual going forward until a case law says otherwise. For now, anyone carrying marijuana can only carry up to 30 grams, and it needs to be in a sealed, airtight, odor-proof container.
And obviously, if it's odor-proof, then our canines should not be able to smell it. And so if our canines are alerting on a vehicle, then that will mean that it's not in compliance of the law.
Champaign County Sheriff Dustin Harmon feels his department is ready for the changes coming, but he admits this 600-page law is far from straightforward. So he wouldn't be surprised if the number of people they arrest for marijuana-related charges stays the same even after legalization.
I believe it's going to be difficult for people to comply with the law. So it may be for some, but I think people are just going to say, well, I've got to do X, Y, and Z to make this legal, but what are the chances of me getting pulled over between point A and point B? So I'm just going to go.
That's why staff members at dispensaries like New Med in Urbana got training for the transition. They're ready to help people who want to use marijuana use it safely and stay out of trouble.
Yes, the state has given us plenty of information to prepare us for the coming year.
They say the easiest way is to think of it like alcohol. Once it's been opened, you can't take it anywhere. So New Med recommends if you have to transport it, do not open it and only take as much as you would use while away because you can't get caught with it on your way back. Live in the newsroom, Emily Braun, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Certainly a lot to learn in the coming year. Emily, thanks so much. Here are some other rules for recreational marijuana. If you're not an Illinois resident, you can only possess up to 15 grams at a time rather than 30. It's illegal for anyone under 21 to buy, have, use, or transport marijuana, and you can't smoke it at or near a school or a public place. Speaking of marijuana, the governor took the first steps today to clear records records for people with pot convictions. He met with the Cook County State's Attorney to file the first motions for expungements. Governor Pritzker will pardon all convictions for possession up to 30 grams. State's attorneys can file to vacate convictions for possession of up to 500 grams if they want to.
Here's an update on a deadly shooting in Decatur from last week. A 17-year-old's been arrested and charged with aggravated discharge of a firearm. The shooting happened at the Decatur Inn on North Water Street. 21-year-old Jason Goodbread died at the hospital. The teenager was also wanted on an attempted murder charge from December 2018. Police say he was involved in a drive-by where a teenager was shot. A man accused of using his car to run over two people was in court today. Derek Overton pleaded not guilty to aggravated battery, failure to report the incident to authorities, residential burglary, and theft. Overton's accused of being part of a fight outside of Black Hawk Liquor in September. Police say he drove his car into a crowd and ran over two people.
A bridge in Champaign that's been closed for almost 9 months is about to open back up. The Bradley Avenue Bridge between Duncan and Staley has been blocked off since March. It was supposed to be done a month ago. IDOT workers say weather and scheduling issues pushed the project back, but they're confident it'll be open for drivers tomorrow afternoon. And they say it'll be a big step up from the old bridge.
Because it was very narrow. There were even narrow bridge signs up, but now you have a much wider room. You have an 11-foot lane. You also have a 4.5-foot bike lane, so bikers have their own lane, so that's a lot wider. It's a lot safer. And there's also 6-foot sidewalks now for anybody walking.
Today, crews put the protective coating on the road, and tomorrow they'll work on striping. The bike lane is open as well as the north sidewalk. However, the south sidewalk may not be done until spring. New for you tonight, people are being asked to take a survey about the quality of life in Decatur. The Economic Development Corporation created the survey. It includes questions about jobs, shopping, restaurants, and community culture. The first survey was sent out in 2014. Since then, the city has made improvements like creating careersdecatur.com to streamline job searches, and they've started new education programs. Now, 5 years later, they're doing this again to see how people's perception of the city has changed.
Talk about the things that are happening right now and all the transformation that's been taking place. And so through the course of the past 5 years, I think we've done a good job at that, but the survey will help us determine what we need to be doing next.
They're asking anybody who's been to Decatur to take this survey, not just people who live there. We'll have a link to it on WCIA.com.
The Illinois EPA is loaning Decatur nearly $6 million to pay for critical sewer reconstruction. This will help fix an unstable section of sewers in the city. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen's here. So, Jennifer, where is this work being done?
Paul, the construction repair runs near McKinley Avenue on the north side of town. It includes about 12,000 feet of sewer pipes. They've already started working on it. The city engineer says this reconstruction is needed to prevent any further disrepair in the future.
There's always the potential for a sewer collapse. This was constructed in the 1930s, been in the ground now almost 100 years, and just one failure of this could exceed hundreds of thousands of dollars just for a point repair.
This is a no-dig construction project, meaning the work will all be done underground with minimal impact to traffic, and the city plans to complete the work by May of next year. Back to you.
Good for the community, good for drivers. Jennifer, thanks. Now, that 20-year low-interest loan will be repaid by the city's sewer fund. Nearly $900,000 will be forgiven by the state. One school had a ribbon cutting tonight to celebrate the building's renovations. Work is complete at the Cerro Gordo Junior-Senior High School. The building's a landmark and was built in 1929. Hadn't been renovated since the 60s. The new annex includes a gym, bigger commons area, a new media library, and STEM lab.
The governor is trying to get the state on board with his progressive tax, how he plans to do it.
Plus, they protect and serve, but tonight deputies are serving in a different way. How they're helping kids for the holidays.